YouTube Live, and today I'm going to show you how I made a fun little card with the Stampin' Up! Pine Tree Trimmings stamp set bundle. This is a gatefold card, so it's a little bit of a, well, I'll call it an easy because that's all I do, fun fold cards. But yeah, this one's really quick and easy. It's just a little different score line, and obviously you put a little belly band around it to kind of decorate up the front a little bit. But yeah, otherwise it's kind of a pretty quick and easy basic card that we're going to be making today. So this is it, and like I said, I've used some of the Designer Series paper on the front of it, added a little tree, stamped image, and then got this, it's a little belly band that slides over the top of it and then opens up like a gate to the inside of the card. So definitely a little bit of a fun fold and very easy one because, like I said, I don't ever do anything that is difficult for as far as fun folds go. Oh, now I got to get the belly band back on it. There we go. Okay. Hey, Debbie and Karen and Carol and Jolene and Barbara and, gosh, Tanya and Marilyn, Karen, Carol, thanks everybody for joining. So, and all your names are coming through Facebook. YouTube is constantly changing stuff. The comments are all coming through with the little @ symbol in front of your name. Your name is all mushed together. So now I'm like trying to read and figure out what everyone's name is. And I know another fun fold, can you even believe it? And I kind of did a little fun fold for another card this week. So yes, I don't know what's gotten into me, Karen, but apparently I've decided Christmas is the time to do fun fold cards. So, but like I said, this is a really quick and easy one. Gatefold, super simple to do. So, Pine Tree Trimmings is the name of the stamp set bundle that I used. Again, just got some really good Christmas sentiments in it, some cute little Christmas tree images. These are little packages. There's a bow that you can put on the top of the packages, little ornaments for the tree, and then a little star stamp as well. And then there are some dies that coordinate with this. Yeah, I don't know for sure why everybody's names are showing up so weird, Terry. I don't know. But thanks for letting me know who you were, because that one I didn't have any idea how in the world to say. I'm like, Tabate? Anyway, but yeah, who knows? I don't know. YouTube is crazy. So, hey, Sherry and Amy and Chris, thanks for hopping in. So these are the Pine Tree Trimmings dies, and obviously this will cut out your tree images. This cuts out the star. This one will cut out the bow and the two packages, and then this is a cute little garland that goes with it. I did make a card, I can't even remember when it was, a month or two ago, with this same bundle, and I actually showed you how to make it a shaker card. So there are some little shaker domes that fit perfectly inside this die in the online exclusives. So if you are looking at those, yes, these two do coordinate with the little shaker domes in the online exclusive, so you can make shaker cards, which are really cute. And like I said, a previous card that I made in a video, like I said, month and a half ago, shows you how to use this stamp set to make a shaker card. But today I did a gatefold instead. So, all right. Couple other things that I did use. I cut a couple of circles. So I used the largest circle die from the Stylish Shapes dies, and that is where I cut the basic white circle with on the card front. And then I also used, it's this die. That's kind of, I don't know, I call it the dashed circle die. I don't know how else to describe it, but it's the biggest of the dashed circle dies. And I used that to cut the real red circle that I layered underneath my basic white circle. These are Spotlight on Nature dies. These are the Stylish Shapes dies. They've both been around for a little while, and they're both great sets of dies. If you don't have them, you might as well just get them both, because you'll be sad if you don't, because they're great die sets. All right, so let's get these out of the way. A couple things before we get going. Stampin' Up! Has still got that great starter kit special running through the end of October. If you are not currently a demonstrator, now is one of the best starter kit deals I think I've ever seen, where you get to pick, there are two different starter kit options. So there's one option where you can pay $35 and you get to pick $125 worth of Stampin' Up! Merchandise. All of your choice can be whatever you want it to be, even some new pre-order items if you want that for the November online exclusive pre-orders. Kit will ship for free. Again, you're only paying the $35 plus tax if that applies in your area. Kit ships for free. You get a pack of catalogs in there and a paper pumpkin kit. Or you can choose the regular $99 for the kit. And again, it will ship for free. You just pay tax on that if that applies in your area. And you get to pick $189 worth of stuff. So if you've been looking at something like maybe the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, this $189 kit is an awesome deal, because you can get the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine in your starter kit only pay $99 for the machine, and you'll still have money left over to spend on other fun stuff. So definitely let me know if you have any questions about this. We've had quite a few people take advantage of it and enjoying the team. So it is a great, great deal. Details are on my blog, which is stampwithamyk.com. And yeah, you can check out the details there. But let me know if you have questions. Always happy to chat with you about it. So, all right, 12 Days of Crafting Advent Calendar. Just wanted to remind you that that is currently available from Stampin' Up. This would make a great gift for anyone that you know that is crafty. Otherwise, if people who are looking for gifts for you, maybe you could like hint to a significant other, a spouse, one of your kids, you know, one of your parents, whatever. People are always looking for gifts. You can always offer that up and say, hey, this would be a great idea. It's $99. And yeah, you can get it. It's got 12 little boxes inside, and each contains a different product inside it. Stampin' Up! Has put together some videos, so if you do want to see what's in it before you jump in and buy it, they have done a series of videos that shows you what's inside each little box, and then shows you a project that they made with whatever was inside the little box. So definitely something fun for the holidays, and if you have any questions, let me know, but you can find this out in the Stampin' Up! Online store. And then final thing, just wanted to remind you, again, the products that I'm using today for the stamp set bundle are all online exclusive items. So make sure anytime you're out there shopping in the online store that you are checking out the online exclusives. Those come and go. They're not tied to any catalog. So things may disappear between now and next time when you shop. So if there are things you're wanting, go grab them and put them in your cart and do your shopping, so that you don't miss out. So online exclusives you can find at stampinup.com, and then click on the menu button on the upper left, and then the little circle that says online exclusives is where you will find all of those. All right. Eek. Let's get going on the card. So I have got a real red card base to start with, and it's got some gunk on it already. And it is scored, I don't know how well it shows up on the video, at 2 1/8, and again, I'm having a moment. Yeah, at 6 3/8. I thought that's what it was, but I wanted to double check before I told you the wrong thing. So again, 2 1/8, 6 3/8, and that creates your little gatefold card. And then I've got a couple pieces of paper here. So this is, I said real red for the card base. This is garden green. And then we've got some of the Christmas tags and more, 6x6, mix and match, designer series, specialty designer series paper. It's the name is like 50 miles long, so we'll just call it the Christmas tags and more designer series paper. So this is in the front of the current mini catalog. It's kind of hidden up front, and if you pass it by, you're not get. It's an awesome pack, so don't pass it by. But if you do, go back and look towards the front of your catalog. It is a great pack of paper, mix and match, and it's specialty because it's got a bunch of little pre-done die cuts in the pack that you can just pop out and create speedy, fast cards with. So the garden green cardstock is 1 7/8 inches wide by 5 1/4 tall. And then the designer series paper pieces are 1 3/4 inches wide by 5 1/8 inches tall. Again, all the measurements are going to be out on my blog tomorrow, so don't worry about writing everything down and worrying about, was this an 1/8 or a 1/4 or whatever. It'll all be out there, and I will link directly to the blog post once it goes live around 8 o'clock in the morning Eastern time on, what day is tomorrow? Wednesday. All right. So when you're putting the card front together, the only thing you want to sort of pay attention to is if you have a pattern like this, just making sure that you don't accidentally, although, yeah, this one, don't accidentally turn it upside down and then your plaids won't match. I don't know that it's the end of the world if that happens, but I try not to make it happen. So, so I use the solid green line as kind of my main, you know, how I line it up things. So when you're putting the card front together, just make sure that you kind of pay attention to that. And again, this is one of those papers. It doesn't matter whether it goes on right side up, upside down. As long as your stripes match, you're good to go. So what I'm doing is I'm going to take each of these little panels and we're going to adhere it to either side of the card base. And again, the score line is here, so I'm just centering this between the score line, and actually I'm getting ready to stick it on there upside down. Almost did it, caught myself. All right, just lining it up here between the top, bottom, and edge and the score line, so just kind of centering it there. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. And this is the one where I really need to pay attention because it'll be too late if I stick it down the wrong way around. So I want to make sure I've got my plaids lined up. So this is the way I want it to be on here. And putting that, again, just centering it. And there we go. Then I'm going to grab a piece of basic white cardstock, which of course I had at the bottom of my stack of stuff. This is 4 inches by 5 1/4, so just the standard inside the card base layer, I guess is what I'll say. Real red ink, and I've got one of the sentiments from the Pine Tree Trimmings stamp set. This one says "Sending Christmas Wishes," and we're just going to stamp that here on the basic white panel. A little bit higher than centered, roughly centered side to side. And then we're going to grab a little piece of the trimmed off designer series paper. This ends up being about 3/4 of an inch wide. Whatever you have for trimming pieces, you can certainly, if it's a little narrower than that, it'll work. A little wider than that, it'll work. Whatever you have for a piece that you've got trimmed off. And we're just going to adhere that to the bottom of the basic white panel. Hopefully getting it on there somewhat straight. And then I'm going to trim off the excess. I usually try to make my little pieces for the inside of my card a little longer than I need, just so that I can have a little bit more room to maneuver around. If you cut it a little short, then you're having to trim off the edges of your paper and all that stuff, where it's a little easier if it's a little longer. So, all right. Going to go ahead and put seal around the edge of that, Stampin' Seal around the edge, and flip my card base over. Again, it doesn't matter. This doesn't have like a top and bottom. If it did, you'd want to pay attention how you're putting this piece inside your card. So if you had something that was directional and needed to make sure you had your top and bottom correct, just make sure you take a look before you put the inside in. But now all I'm doing is just centering this in the middle of the card base. Again, trying to make it equal top, bottom, in between the 2 score lines. All right. Then we're going to fold it closed to make our little gate fold here. I'm going to grab the bone folder, do a quick crease on this side, fold it closed on this side, quick crease over here. I'm also going to flip it over to the back and give it a good solid crease on the back. Just because it's a fun fold, it does kind of want to pop open a little bit, which is fine. That's why I try to give it a good crease with the bone folder. So, hey, Sherry, and Joanna, thanks for hopping in. So, and Debbie, if I didn't say hello already, hello again. So, all right, I've got a piece of garden green cardstock, and this is cut to 2 1/8 inches wide by about 9 inches. You can go somewhere between 9 and 10 inches if you want it to be a little bit longer. That's fine. You could probably even use the whole 11-inch wide piece. I just try not to have too much of an overlap on it that it accidentally sticks out around my circle. So somewhere between 9 and 10 inches would probably be about perfect. So I've got this here, and I generally want to line it up so that it's lined up with a few of my grid lines, just because it'll help me to get it folded a little straighter. It's never going to be perfect. But to make the belly band, what I'm doing is I'm putting